Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, happy Friday. Is it a happy Friday? Well, at least it's Friday, the end of the week. Let's talk about what's going on with markets. It was a horrific day yesterday. In fact, I had a video created, but my bad, I forgot to release it. But it's okay. We could talk about it today. We could spend a good time to talk about why the market seems so weak. Is the bubble bursting right now? And is this the end for Bitcoin and crypto? Let's talk about all these things and more. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting out the day at 100. So obviously not a better place than yesterday. We fell down a little bit more, and the alts fell down a little more. Although there are a few particular alts that are doing absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to share my theory about that because it's kind of random now. It was just like a few privacy coins. Now it's just like all these random ones that are blowing up, and that could be a good thing. So I'm going to share my theory about that at the end here. But let's see. The U.S. market is opening up in the red once again. Yesterday was a horrific day for AI and tech and crypto related stocks. Everything down. My beloved Robinhood went down 11% yesterday. I did not pick up anymore. I kind of expected today to be a red day too. So it's down 3%. Depending on where it goes, I'm going to be loading up. Just a side note. But Nvidia went down, like anything really, anything tech related, AI related especially, has gone down. And why is that? Well, there's a couple reasons. There's this new fear about AI bubble that is happening. Okay, so people are now really fearful and thinking that, oh, all the AI plays are too overvalued and we better sell. It's like Wall Street kind of following the herd at this point. And unfortunately, I've said this before, Wall Street is very reactive. You think they're like they have more foresight into certain markets. And unfortunately, most of the time you realize they don't. They're just like normal human beings, and they fall for the emotions. And when they see all their counterparts selling, they're like, okay, we better all dump then. Just like retail investors. A lot of time Wall Street, you'll find, it does exactly what you think. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yesterday also, we had a press conference from Trump. We thought maybe he would talk about the government shutdown situation. No. We're getting a big price cut for Ozempic. That's what we're getting. That's what we need right now. A huge price cut on Ozempic and obesity drugs, of all things. And Musk, he got a $1 trillion pay package. As if the last one wasn't big enough, which was shut down by some judge. His new one is even bigger. So, yeah, I mean, that pay package has nothing to do with what's going on right now. But I just thought it's definitely worth, talking about. But because the government shutdown and continues on, that is also dragging down the markets. People don't like it. No one does. Now, we have less flights starting today. FAA orders shutdowns, cancels more than 700 flights. Airports are wrecked right now, even if you have pre-TSA. Lines are long. I can't, I don't know if I can deal with it. I haven't waited in line at an airport for like ever. So I'm hoping this all ends soon. But this obviously is just one of the many repercussions of a government shutdown. There are many government workers that are not working. They're just sitting at home. But Congress continues to fight. There's another vote today. Fingers crossed that maybe something happens. But this is the longest government shutdown ever. We're losing billions upon billions of dollars every single day. And you have hundreds of thousands of workers not at work. It's not good. It's not good. It can only go on for so long, right? Both sides need to come together and find a middle ground. Otherwise, this is going to have major repercussions. One of the reasons why we're doing bad right now, okay? And because of it, we don't have all these data that we need. There's a couple of Fed presidents just talking today, but we were supposed to get unemployment report today. We're not going to get it. There's a lot of these important data points that we're supposed to be getting, yet no one is giving it to us because somehow they can't send one person into the computer and get it. I don't know why. But yeah, so it's a combination of things, why things are so bad. There seems to be a AI bubble fear. You got the government shutdown that's still happening, right? Got a lot of stuff that is weighing the markets down and making people fearful. Here's someone from Southeast Asia, CEO of the largest bank in Southeast Asia, says, buckle up, we're in for a volatile ride. And she's warning of a market pullback. That's kind of like what we're seeing right now. And of course, Bitcoin and crypto are being pulled back with it. That's what we're seeing, honestly. There's no other reason. The fundamentals are still great, but you know what? Wall Street now holds a large amount of Bitcoin. So when Wall Street decides like, hey, everyone is selling, everyone's dumping, let's join in. You know, that's why there's this correlation. And now we have this weirdness. You have some of these like OG Bitcoin whales coming out and starting to trade, starting to counter trade the market sometimes. We saw some big whale come out and like do a short call or a couple short calls on itself and ETH and all these stuff. It's just like, it's weird. It's just weird, right? But yeah. But something that is interesting though. Something that is interesting is if you look at Bitcoin ETF inflow, you would figure yesterday wasn't a good day. You would figure yesterday would be a huge outflow day, right? When everyone's selling, everyone's panic selling. But guess what? No. We had a $240 million inflow day. Not one fund was red yesterday. That's for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, same thing. Not one fund sold. We had very little. No, I take that back. Grayscale sold a little bit. But overall, we had a little inflow, 12.5 million. And for Sol, still going higher. Almost 30 million inflow into Bitwise. So is all hope lost? Is this the end? Well, the answer is no. There are still some smart investors out there. There are still long-term holders that think, hey, when we're down, it's a good time to buy the dip. It's a good time to take advantage when blood is in the streets. So obviously there are still buyers, which is why the ETFs were actually positive. That's actually a very surprising thing. I figured it would be a massively bad outflow day. Although the whole week was still bad, right? We had 6 days of outflow, but yesterday being a pretty good inflow day kind of shows you, okay, there are still believers, there are bargain hunters that are buying the dip, because they feel like this is not the end. We didn't have a top. We're not just going to go down and start crypto winter. It's still November, not January. And I agree. Something else that's really funny, and I don't know if this is planned or not. You guys know Microstrategy and all these other companies that give out preferred share of strategy, right? You got Strike, another kind of strike, and a stride, or I don't know what the difference is between the two strikes. But if you look at the last letter, what does it spell when you add them together? Is that on purpose? Or is that a total coincidence? I don't know. You know, like for Tesla, you have the S, you have the 3, and then you have the X and the Y, and it spells out sexy. That was done on purpose. This, I don't know if it was done on purpose. I just thought it's funny, you know. Nothing against Sailor, but I just thought that was funny. And he's not stopping because he's starting another one called Stream, but this one is going to be for overseas. This one's going to be in Europe, I believe. And he wants to raise more money to, of course, buy more Bitcoin. And you know who else is preparing, or might be preparing to buy more Bitcoin? Nvidia. So this came out recently that Nvidia may be preparing a big Bitcoin purchase. And this would not surprise me because Jensen is an extremely intelligent person. Nothing is missed by that guy. That's why Nvidia is the largest company on the planet. And I hold a lot of their shares. And I think they're going to continue to do well despite this AI bubble fear that's swirling around. But it makes a lot of sense if Nvidia starts buying Bitcoin because they have so much money. They make so much every quarter. They can't possibly spend it all. And just like a lot of the big AI company or big tech companies in general, they can't just buy out everyone because there will be like antitrust issues, right? And they usually just give it back in dividends. Very rarely do they actually make an acquisition, not accusation. But buying Bitcoin would be awesome. And it makes a lot of sense. We'll see. Watch a Guru actually said that. I don't know where they got their information. Or Whale Guru, not Watch a Guru, but they're a big X site. I don't know where they got their information, but I don't think this is unreasonable. I think it's actually a good move. I think a lot of these big companies, they don't know what to do with their money. Buying Bitcoin is the best move for them. They're not going to buy gold. Imagine how silly it would be if Nvidia came out and said, we're buying $10 billion worth of gold. You're going backwards. That's like a car manufacturer coming out and saying they're buying 1 million horse buggies. It doesn't make any sense. And Tether, the biggest stablecoin issuer on the planet, just bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin on a dip. So again, you have a lot of people that believe. Okay, the fundamentals of Bitcoin did not change. In fact, it's gotten stronger. The only thing that hasn't gotten stronger is the price action. But the fundamentals of Bitcoin has gotten stronger. You have other companies now, even like Tether, that implemented Bitcoin strategy, and they buy using part of their profits every quarter. They buy Bitcoin, and now they're just buying randomly whenever it's cheap. They're one of the largest Bitcoin holders on the planet now, with 4.5 billion of unrealized profits, not loss, profits. All right, what else? What else? Well, if you look at this, Ali explains it. If you look at the last 2 years, Bitcoin always rebounded when traders realized losses below 12%. So what does that mean? Well, usually we have a bottom signal whenever people are capitulating or fear level is high or they're at a loss. Although it's still kind of weird to think that Bitcoin traders are at averaging 11% loss. That's still weird to me because if you've been DCAing even throughout this year, there's no way you would be at an 11% loss. I mean, people still forgot that we were at 70,000 6 months ago. And we hovered in the 80s and 90s for a long time. And of course, last year, we were hovering in the 50s. So it's kind of shocking, but still. Maybe a lot of people bought at top at 120s and stuff like that. But if you look at it, again, have we seen times like this before? Yes. Have we seen major losses? Yes. And have we turned them back around? Yes. So all good things. Looking at this versus a couple years ago in 2019, the beginning of the recovery, yeah, looks similar, but the commonality is we had a government shutdown then too. I didn't know the last government shutdown was actually right before COVID. So we had a government shutdown. And Bitcoin recovered nicely after that, but man, that's crazy. Did you know that in 2019 Bitcoin was at $4,000? We went from 4,000 to 14,000. Okay, and then COVID happened and we dropped back down to 3,000. But like, just take a second to think about that. You could have bought Bitcoin at $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 just a few years ago. Wasn't that long. And now people are fearful about Bitcoin at $100,000. How times have changed. Going from $3,000 with mass panic, now with mass panic at $100,000. Just take a second to think about that. Yeah, and if you compare what we're going through right now versus last year, exactly the same thing. In fact, this one is showing like it's like January and stuff, but if you look at 2024, right around November time, it's the same thing. I can show you guys in a chart. This is like the same exact thing that's happening. So I'll show you that. So again, what's the point to all this? Okay, we have seen worse. It will get better, and there are a lot of believers still. Okay, don't let all the fearful people tell you that it's over, and they're getting out, and you should too. Okay, you make your own decisions. You decide, and think about what we've been through over the years, even this year, and think about if things can improve. What's holding us back right now? The government shutdown, is that going to last forever? No. Is the AI bubble fears going to last forever? No. AI is different than the dot-com bubble, okay? It's totally different. People need to realize that. Some of the macro fears that we're going through with trade and tariffs, is that going to be over? Yeah. It's not going to be forever. These are things that we can overcome. Nothing fundamentally has changed. You may be like Tom Lee and BitMine, and maybe you're sitting at an unrealized loss. But if you truly believe what you're holding, you're not going to give up and just sell. Imagine if Tom Lee just sold 442,000 ETH. What that would do. That would be totally disastrous for BitMine, for ETH, But also, that's just not a good move. He believes in ETH. He believes in Bitcoin and ETH, but probably more ETH at this point. So what is he going to do? He's going to continue to DCA. And I would say if you believe in something that much, then of course that's what you need to do. Otherwise, if you sell, you may regret. You may regret. Ethereum. Speaking of Ethereum, ARK buys BitMine shares. So Kathy Wood obviously is starting to like Ethereum more. She was a big Sol person, but now she's starting to turn to Ethereum a little bit. So, okay. And then I saw Kazakhstan is going to launch a 1 billion crypto reserve. I talked about them yesterday. I don't know if it's a crypto reserve or a Bitcoin reserve because they're thinking about doing Bitcoin reserve too, but good for them. And then I saw this. Filecoin goes up 70%. So this relates to what I was saying at the beginning. You now have random coins that are pumping. So I brought up CMC here. Zcash is still on a roll. People are just FOMOing on Zcash like crazy right now. Okay. But outside of privacy coins, you have a lot of random things that are pumping. ICP is pumping. Near Protocol is pumping 23%. Meme Core, Ethereum Classic, Aptos, Filecoin's up 62%. You know what this article said? Why it's breaking out? Because it's a technical breakout. Because the charts say that it's going to break out. No, that's not the reason why Filecoin is up 62% today. Okay, so you do have a lot of these random breakouts. FET is up 35%. FET was left for dead. And I found out some reasons why they started getting really weak after the merger. So here's my theory. It's not a good one, but I'm going to give it anyways. You have all these random coins that are pumping. You know, when does random coins usually pump? Think about it. It usually happens during altcoin season when you have just random whales and groups and influencers maybe pushing random coins and they pump up to the moon. And it's really strange that on a day like today and yesterday to today, when most things has fallen, you have these random breakouts. Does that mean something's brewing? Right? Are we going to see a lot more of this going forward? Maybe the money is just coming out from one thing and being moved to another, and we're starting to see this happen. Maybe the whales are trying to start altcoin season right now. I know it's not a good theory, but you can't, there's nothing that explains why, like Filecoin, would be up 60, 70% in a day. There's nothing that was announced, no fundamental reason why it should be up, or why a lot of these are up 20%. Why is ETH Classic up 20% today? Like, it makes no sense at all. So I'm wondering if these whales are trying to start something. Try to start up altcoin season and get people excited again. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. There's something going on. And I think it's important to note that despite the weakness from the last few days, the ETF inflows from yesterday were pretty positive, pretty green. We had 240 million inflow on Bitcoin yesterday, despite having 6 outflow days. And yesterday was obviously a bad day too. But this could be a sign of a turnaround as well. Because why would they be picking up? Why are so many people loading up? Right? So these are important factors to pay attention to. Now, it doesn't mean that we just flip right back above right away, but who knows? This government shutdown thing, you know it's going to come to a conclusion soon, right? It's not going to be shut down forever, or all these people are not going to get elected again. Every single one is going to be voted out come next election. So they're going to have to come to agreement. That government shutdown, there's a chance that it could end today. I don't think it's going to. But when that happens, I think that's going to be a big catalyst to come back. So we'll see. We will see. Today, the only thing up is Uber. All right. And Clash is still holding very well. Despite everything that's happening, we're holding at 44 million market cap. That's how strong the Clash community is. I told you guys that. No one's going anywhere. Everyone that's in Clash is super excited about the prospects of this project. All right, let's do some Q&A. If anyone's wondering, I'm drinking Irish coffee right now. I'm just joking. Tony says, George, Ben Cowan says, Bitcoin dominance needs to go higher in order for altcoin season to happen. Do you agree with that? No. That's counterintuitive to when altcoin season is going to happen. Bitcoin dominance needs to go down. If he's saying because this cycle, altcoin, Bitcoin dominance never reached the same levels as before, well, it's because there's millions and millions and millions more coins this time. So no, don't agree with that. Well, the shutdown ending definitely won't hurt. I do think it's a catalyst that'll drive us higher. It's causing a lot of panic right now. Not only that, it's causing a lot of liquidity to be withheld. Last time I saw this article, it's talking about how there's 700 million or billion that's being withheld right now from the banks because of the government shutdown. It's a lot of liquidity, one way or another, that should be flowing out, and it's not. So this government shutdown has a lot of repercussions. We kind of been ignoring it because like the US market actually has been doing good, but now it can't be ignored. People are fearful. People are going to really lash out at these Congress people now. They need to get their act together. They need to figure out whatever's holding them back. They need to end it. It's embarrassing. It's a bad look on all their resumes. Mad Dog's family office. Do you really have a family office? If so, congrats. Thanks for talking to plebs off the edge of the cliff. That's what I try to do. I don't know if I'm making a difference because there are a lot of negative people out there and they do believe that it's over and they're getting out. My internet just cut out. I just experienced an internet outage. But the stream is active still. That's good. I'm still holding. I'm still holding. You know, it's time. You know, sometimes it's hard to hold, right? It's hard to hold. But, yeah. I do have dry powder on the side. I do have that. But the majority I'm holding in crypto and Bitcoin mostly, and a whole lot of options. And, of course, Clash. Speaking of Clash, some of you guys may want to win some money because of the downturn. You should join our tournament tonight. It's going to be streamed at starting 7 p.m. The tournament's going to start at 8 p.m. for 2 hours. This is going to be our next big tournament. Some big prizes for the top 10 finishers. Also, big prizes for just spectators, people that are watching, and prizes for random players. So everyone can get involved. It's a skill-based game tournament, obviously. But even if you're not good and you just want to watch or you just want to play for fun, you can win. You can win soul. You're not even winning Clash, you're winning soul. So that's tonight. You can sign up on the page. It's also in the description of this video. I encourage everyone to come and have a good time and win some prizes and giveaways. And also related to Clash, I do have this Gleam giveaway that now has 4,000 entries. There's 22 days left. And if you sign up, you have a chance to win a lot of prizes. 5 soul for 1 grand prize winner, 1 soul for 5 winners, a T3 NFT. And all you had to do is follow us. Join our Discord, follow our social media sites, the giveaway page, the tournament page, NFT page. Just follow all that. And the secret code you get if you watch my night streams. So I encourage everyone to participate. John asked a good question. Jordan, do you think some of the OGs are dumping, not due to lack of price action, but also because they see Wall Street, the SPY is being taken over? I thought about that. I could see that. I think, you know, Bitcoin was created for the people, by the people. And I could see a lot of the OGs getting really sick of what they're seeing with Wall Street and institutions taking over, especially this cycle. So I could see that, why some of them may be discouraged or why they may be shorting against the market. I thought about that. That's a good take. Unfortunately, that's going to be reality now. Institutions are not going to stop. It's a new asset class that they are investing into. And I've said this too. BlackRock coming into the space is not a good thing. Short term, these are good things that we can ride up on, right? Like we could ride the wave and we could benefit. But long term, these guys are going to start taking over more and more and more, especially when like retail like gets really panicky and just like sells everything and dumps everything. They're going to buy more and more at a faster rate. And that's going to suck. You know, all these people, guys, all these people in the chat now trying to jump on a Zcash bandwagon, I've seen it before. They don't truly understand. They're just saying, oh yeah, Zcash is awesome, it's the future. You don't understand how long Zcash has been out, okay? And it's not a new project. It has been pumped before. We have seen like privacy coins pump before. And whenever everyone like FOMO's into something, it never ends well. The last one, you guys remember Aster? Remember how everyone FOMO into Aster, including myself? But I got out of there. Good thing I still got out with a profit. But just be careful. When everyone starts talking about one thing, that's usually when you're going to hit a bubble top. Zcash got popular recently because Ethereum and Vitalik decided that they want to build in more privacy features. And that's exactly when it started moving up. Even though these privacy features have been out on Zcash, Monero, Dash, and others for a long time, no one cared. So it's just, people are FOMOing right now. Just be careful. I've seen so many projects where people come on and they say, well, look at how hot it is. And it runs for weeks until the bubble top happens. And then it comes down and then people stop talking about it. But if you really believe in Zcash, you really believe in privacy coins, then go for it. Like, I just want to warn you guys, because so many people just FOMO in because they see what's hot right now and they don't understand what it is. But if you truly believe in Zcash, then go for it. It's not a bad project. It's not a meme project. It's not like a new hyperdex or anything. It's just a privacy coin. There's a use for it, but governments hate it. That's why a lot of exchanges does not have it. It's been delisted from a lot of major exchanges. I9999. I'm not even gonna repeat what you said, but yeah, that's funny. Gold and silver didn't even go up today. It's like after gold's peak, it's now just hovering below 4,000. It's still very good compared to where it was, like 3,400, but still, not even people are FOMOing into gold right now. You know, you figure the last few days would cause gold to come back up, but it is not. Most of the money that came out, I think, is just sitting on the sidelines. People are waiting. People want to see some momentum, and then they want to FOMO. That's the honest reality. People just want to FOMO because it gives them an assurance that they're not alone and they're making the right choice because everyone else is doing the same thing. What about Litecoin? It's basically a privacy coin with no action, and it's been here for more than 10 years. I mean, Litecoin took forever to add privacy features. I don't think anyone cares. And they even got their own ETF recently, and they haven't been moving all that much. Some people are diehard Litecoin fans. Not even Charlie likes Litecoin more than Bitcoin. So it is what it is. If you like Litecoin, I don't see how it's better than Bitcoin in any way. Danny Boy says, if your crypto portfolio is a character, what would it be? Mine is Joe Biden, lost and confused. I don't know how to counter that, but, you know. Pretty funny. I appreciate this super chat. H-Bar Dano, you already heard plenty of reassurance from me. That's all I ever do. And people hate it. Some people hate it. Some people hate that I stay positive. It's like people want me to turn negative. People want me to turn into a bear. But that's not going to happen. There are bad days. I'm not going to pretend like my portfolio isn't red, but I've been through enough and I'm putting everything together, and I don't think there's been a fundamental shift. If there is, I will let you guys know. But I don't think there is. And everything that we're going through will pass. Nothing is going to stay forever. Like if you told me, for example, here's a fundamental shift. A lot of people have asked, well, what do you think about quantum computers? Like if some scientist came out and said, well, we cracked SHA-256 encryption using our quantum computer, right? That is a seismic shift. That would be a fundamental shift. I would be like, oh shit, that's bad. You know, what is the core developers going to do? Are they going to, reprogram Bitcoin to defend itself? Like that would be a big, major fundamental shift. But like a government shutdown is not. Like it's not going to be like the government shutdown is forever and then we somehow like live with that for the next 4 years. It's not. Right? That's going to pass. The tariff situation will probably pass too because the Supreme Court is looking at it. Supreme Court's probably going to rule that tariffs are illegal. And all the tariff stuff is going to go away and markets are going to love that. So all these things are temporary right now. The AI bubble, there's no bubble. Nvidia is going to continue to make money hand over fist because everyone wants to be part of AI and everyone's going to buy their chips forever. That's no bubble. That fear is going to go away. So none of these things are like fundamental shifts. Yeah, I agree with the quantum thing. It's not like everyone is sitting idle too, right? While quantum computers are being developed, there are people that are figuring out ways to, stop that from cracking, let's say, wallets or encryption and stuff like that too. So by the time we actually do have quantum computers like that are that powerful, then we'll probably have quantum computers on the other side defending against it. So that's why I'm not too worried about that, but a lot of people are. Subspace, I appreciate that, man. Let's zoom out a little bit. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go back in history a little bit to last year. 2024, we did that the entire year. We finally had some momentum and hit $74,000. That was the peak, okay, back in March of 2024. And then you could see we never hit it again. We kept going lower, 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 right? We hit it again when? End of October, October 29th. Then all the way down here, November 5th is when we finally reversed. And that was a pretty big drop too. And we finally broke above. That was November 6th. After we broke that point, then we kept going, right? So when did we actually start moving up last year? Like basically today of last year, November 6th. Right? Sometimes that's all it takes. You break out, the momentum comes back, FOMO comes, and then you forget about it. People forgot how bad 2024 was. I remember because I was streaming this and people kept saying Bitcoin's dead. Until it wasn't. And people forgot about this year. We went from 109 down to 73,000. That was 6 months ago. People forgot about that. And no, the alts aren't worse now than before. Over here, alts were much worse. So, you know, this is why I remain bullish. It's not that bad. Now, if we're sitting at 70K right now, I would say, yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't think we're going to go and form a new high, but we're not. We could quickly flip above and move 20% from where we are within a week, and we'll be back to all-time high. Very easily. Very easily. In a week, we could do that. Philip Beasley says, I feel this cycle is a couple months behind previous cycles. It could be. A lot of people are banking on the fact that December is the end of this cycle. Doesn't have to be. We could have a super cycle. We could have a cycle where we just continue to go well into 2026 and keep on going until the next halving event. There's no reason to think with all these big boys, institutions, and ETFs and public trade companies holding all this Bitcoin in their reserve that they're all going to dump it. Because that's what happened in previous cycles. Everyone dumped. All retail dumped. These guys, I don't feel like they're all going to dump. So maybe we have corrections. Maybe we have a 30% correction. Maybe we even have a 50% correction. But we'll probably recover and just keep on going. I don't think it's going to be like an 80% correction. And we wait 2.5 years before we recover back. I just don't see that. But I may be wrong. We'll see. I guess end of December, we'll know. Bob Costco. No, I'm not. I got out of MSTR a long time ago. I don't like the way the model works where Saylor keeps selling shares to buy Bitcoin. I think that's going to be like just endless sell pressure on Microstrategy. So I don't like it. Thoughts on Polygon? Nope. Too much bad things I've heard. So the only good thing that they have is Polymarket. And Polymarket, I'm pretty sure, you know, they're raising a whole bunch of money. I'm pretty sure they're going to build out their own chain. I'm almost positive they are. I don't think they want to be locked to Polygon. Is ADA feeling fundamentally weak this late in the cycle? I think everything is. You can make that argument about everything. But ADA, you know, ADA was doing pretty well. It hit over $1, but right now it's just weak like everything else. Yeah, it was at 120 something in December. And then it hit like $1.18, and then it was like $1 back in August. So it could get back to dollars, right? Pretty easily. Can it get back to $3 something this cycle? It depends on how much FOMO we get. With a lot of FOMO coming back, there's always a chance. It's the same reason why I think Clash could go to $1 billion. Because when FOMO hits, that true altcoin season hits, things go crazy. Liquidity starts flowing. Everyone starts putting their money in. Right now, I know there's a lot of money just on the sidelines. A lot of money just sitting there. People are afraid to use it. But when people feel the FOMO, man, that's when the money comes in. And it's not just from retail, Wall Street too. Now that we have these ETFs, money is going to start flowing into these ETFs hardcore. And treasury companies. Instead of Solana, give Clash as prizes. That would be much easier. But the reason why I don't do that is because people will just sell off their Clash. People that don't believe in the project will just sell it off. But if you give people Sol, they're not going to sell off the Sol. They'll probably go use it to go buy Clash. They actually enjoy what we're doing. That's the reason why I don't give out Clash. If Coxos bring back the combo pizza, do you promise to buy some Litecoin to celebrate? I've never, ever seen Costco have a combo pizza. It's always been Costco hot dog combo. And even if that happened, no. No, I would not. What's your thoughts on Pepe and Bonk? I mean, Pepe now, I consider them like a blue chip meme. Obviously, right behind Sheeb and Doge. But, you know, Bonk is still, they're like a blue chip now. They're the biggest on Solana. But there's nothing exciting about them. That's what's different about Clash. At least we have something to bond over, right? We have these tournaments. It's fun. People that watch me at night, I think they have a good time. Well, obviously they like Clash, but I think they have a good time watching. And so many people have told me, oh, I started playing Clash Royale because of you. It's something fun that's outside of crypto, but I'm relating crypto elements to it, obviously. But these tournaments are fun, and that's something that we can bond over. And there's more things coming that's based around that. And that's at least different than any other community project out there. Like you look at Bonk, what do they have? The only thing I'm aware of is this Bonk bot, which is a sniping bot that they created. But that's it. The same thing with Pepe. What do they have? Like any other meme projects, all they have is cheerleading. That's it. That's why they're all struggling so much right now. Every single one, like Popcat and Turbo and all these guys, and Giga and Meow and all these ones, they're struggling because they have nothing. We have something that's different, and I design things so that it's different too. And it's one of the most fairly launched projects. There's no insiders, no KOL pushes, no cabals. It was just me launching fairly on Pump.Fun. And a lot of community members got in very early, sub 100K early. That's how fair it was. There was no, and that's why there's no insider selling. Most memes, most projects that become successful are held up to 80% of the supply by the insiders. And that's why when they launch big, they all sell out. That's what happened to Aster and so many others. Sometimes it works successfully where they become a big cap and they stay there, but other times they just keep falling and they keep draining. So you got to be careful about those. These new hyped up launches, like why do you think Aster is struggling so hard right now? Shilled by everyone, even CZ himself, multiple times. And now all those insiders have just dumped. This should have been the price it debuted at. But this was all due to those insiders shilling it and generating FOMO and stuff like that. So that's why, like, for me, when it did this, okay, I got out. I'm like, there's something that's very unnatural about this. And especially if you see CZ talking about it, that's kind of a red flag. SCR, you're 55 already? I barely hit like level 62 yesterday. So you must be playing like crazy. Well, the good news is it looks like we have found that bottom point again. The bulls are strong. Does not want Bitcoin to stay below 100. So that's the good thing. Andrew Brink, I started streaming on TikTok yesterday. A lot of people watch TikTok. I have, Kick is too small. No one watches Kick. Twitch, I have done it before. I might do it tonight, but like Twitch has no like recommendation engine. Unless you're big and you already have a lot of followers. Every time I stream on Twitch, it's like one person watching. No one searches for it. Even though I put in the Clash Royale category. That's why Twitch and some of these streaming sites, their algorithm just sucks. Like TikTok is so good because it's algorithm. Even though the algorithm now is like, I think it's not as good as before. You don't get a lot of random stuff like before. But like Twitch has like almost no recommendation engine at all. You only see the very popular people streaming. You never encounter some random clip that you would like to see, or some random stream, I should say. But I'll probably enable it tonight. But anyways, yeah, for tonight, guys, tournament time. Make sure you tune in. 8 p.m. on my other channel called George Plays Clash Royale. It's in the description. You can win some money by playing or even spectating, right? And it's the easiest thing. And everyone's going to have a good time. You don't take your mind off of crypto. Just play the game and have a good time. All right? So I will see you guys tonight. And for the rest of you guys, stay strong. Nothing fundamentally has changed. We have some headwinds, some macro scares. They will be alleviated soon enough. They're not going to stay around forever. We will get through this. So just hang in there, okay? Stay strong and hang in there. And we have a couple of signs that something's brewing. Look at all the alts that are randomly pumping. ETF inflows turn positive. These are signs. So pay attention. All right? Smash it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight. All right? 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.